Welcome to the next session of human health and disease. We are going to the next heading called as autoimmunity. Then we go across the lymphoid organs and then the middle part of the chapter which represents two main diseases, AIDS and cancer. Now in this part, as we come across the heading called as autoimmunity, almost the memory based acquired immunity which we have got can easily differentiate the pathogens, that means foreign antigens, from that of our body cells. That means the antibodies can recognize antigens, the foreign pathogens, as well as our host cell. But due to some genetic reasons and unknown factors, our own antibodies attacks our body cells, which leads to damage and finally leads to death of the humans. And this disease is termed as a autoimmune disease. And we have a classical example for this also, where we come across an example called as rheumatoid arthritis. So this is what is termed as autoimmunity. Now autoimmune disease, why it occurs? So still it is an idiopathy in medical science, and once if it comes to the humans, there is no cure for the autoimmune disease, because still research is going on autoimmunity, so that why our body antibodies cannot distinguish, they fail to recognize due to genetic reasons or some unknown factors. So that's why the disease or the disorder that comes to the humans by attacking of our own antibodies to our body cells is said to be autoimmune disease. Okay. Now let's come to the statement of autoimmunity. Now here we come across a statement, initial statement. What we say is the memory based acquired immunity acquired immunity is mainly memory based. Why we call it as memory based? Because we have the memory B and memory T cells which can easily identify the pathogen or the foreign particles that has invaded our body. So for this, what we say is the memory based acquired immunity. So here evolved in higher vertebrates. So this is evolved in higher vertebrates like that of the humans. So here what happens is, based on the ability where it can distinguish or differentiate so it can easily differentiate what? The foreign particles, or we call them as pathogens, and our host cells. So here mainly it is dependent on the memory based cells. Okay, so differentiate foreign organisms or let us call it as pathogens. Okay, so where it can easily differentiate these pathogens from self cells. Now it should identify, it should recognize what? The memory based acquired immunity. Acquired immunity ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂಥ immunity when we are exposed to the environment. Once if we have this immunity, then our antibodies can easily differentiate our body cells with that of the foreign organisms. Foreign organism is nothing but it is an antigen. Let us say it as pathogen. So it is the ability of having the differentiation between the host cells as well as the foreign particles, and this is evolved in the higher vertebrates during the course of evolution. Now here what happens is either due to genetic factors or due to unknown reasons, ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ನಡೆದೈತಿ, ಹಲವಾರು ಕಾರಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್, ಜೀನ್ಸಿಂದನೂ ಇದು ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಆಟೋ ಇಮ್ಯೂನ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ವೇರ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಟಿಬಾಡೀಸ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಆ್ಯಂಟಿಬಾಡೀಸ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುವು ಮತ್ತು ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುವು, ಇದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಅವರ್ ಸೋಲ್ಜರ್ಸ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಸೋಲ್ಜರ್ಸ್ ವೆನ್ ದೇ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ದ ಎನಿಮೀಸ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೋಲ್ಜರ್ ಗ್ರೂಪು ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಎನಿಮಿ ಸೋಲ್ಜರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಷಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಕಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಸೋಲ್ಜರ್ ಆರ್ ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎನಿಮಿ ಪರ್ಸನ್. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಇಡಿಯೋಪತಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋನ್ ಕಾಸ್, ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ತಾವೆ. ಆ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ಗಳು ಯಾವ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಾರಣ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ವಿ ಗಿವ್ ಎ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅದ್ರಾಗ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕಾರಣ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ that's why the person will suffer with a disease called as autoimmune disease. Okay, now we are quoting that in the second point. So what we quote here is due to genetic and other unknown causes, either it might be due to the genetic as well as the unknown reasons. So what happens? Our antibodies will attack our body cells. So the antibody attacks what? Attacks our own cells. So when these antibodies attacks the body cells, where we also call them as self cells, this type of a disease is called as a autoimmune disease. Now for this we refer it as it results, so this results in damage of our body cells. So when it results in the damage to the body, this is termed as autoimmune disease. It is called autoimmune disease. Now example for this is rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, so this is an classical example, the best example which is given in your NCERT. Then apart from that we have other examples also like glomerulonephritis, then apart from the glomerulonephritis we have pulmonary fibrosis, then other disease, Addison's disease is there. Okay, so different types of disorders are also there, right? So out of that the classical example is rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid means it is a severe joint pain. Okay, knee pain. So we get severe knee pain which is the rheumatoid arthritis. Now here what happens, our own antibodies instead of killing the foreign antigens, it starts to kill our own cells. It leads to damage. So damage to the body and ultimately there is no cure. Only the thing for this is we can just take only the painkiller injections so that the rheumatoid arthritis andre joint pain, rheumatoid arthritis is severe joint pain. Okay, and even some of the doctors also suffer with the rheumatoid arthritis. Yakandre doctors ಏನು ದೇವರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಆಟೋ ಇಮ್ಯೂನ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಬರ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ದೋ ದೇ ನೋ ಇಟ್, ಬಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ರೆಮಿಡಿ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್, ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್, right? So this is regarding the part of auto immunity, which will be asked for a short notes 3 mark level question. And if its definition is asked, go to the second point, define it, and example, the best example quote as rheumatoid arthritis. Glomerulonephritis is infection to the what? Nephrons. Pulmonary fibrosis is infection to the lungs, where it leads to fibrosis, hardening of the lungs. So all these are autoimmune diseases. Okay, so this is regarding the part of autoimmunity. So with this we will move on to immune system in the body. So immune system in the body. So regarding the part of the immune system in our body, we have primary lymphoid organs, secondary lymphoid organs. So these are there. So cells, tissues, so lymphoid organs, tissues as well as antibodies. So they are present in the body. So immune system, it includes lymphoid organs, tissues, means lymph tissues, then some proteins and antibodies. In fact, antibodies are the proteins. Now almost all these are involved in the process of what? Immune system in our body. Nam body ದಾಗ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಒಂದು immune system. We have lymphatic system where it runs along with the blood circulatory system. So blood circulatory system ಜೊತೆಗೆ lymphatic system ಅಂತದ. The diagram is given in your NCERT, you can just go through that. And there if you look at the lymphatic system, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಇರುವಂಥವು. So lymph nodes ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ organs where they are meant for storage of the antibodies. Okay. Now here what we do is we just divide them or differentiate them into primary lymphoid organs, secondary lymphoid organs. Primary lymphoid organs are those where the lymphocytes are produced and maturation occurs. Secondary lymphoid organs are those where the antibodies or the lymphocytes are stored and where they become antigen specific part. Okay, so this is regarding the introductory part of immune system. Okay, so with this let me tell you an additional content of the previous part that we have discussed, where in between somewhere it will be asked for an objective part in case of allergy. Now in the allergy, as we have discussed various causes, symptoms, treatment for that. So what you have to note, one more point what you have to note is the lymphocytes which are produced against the allergy is IgE type. Okay, so ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅಲರ್ಜಿ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಬರ್ದಿರಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಟೈಪ್ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸಿ ಟಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಥೇರಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಆಸ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಆ್ಯಂಟಿಬಾಡೀಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲರ್ಜಿ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ IgE ಟೈಪ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ IgE. Okay, note it there, not here. Okay. Now immunoglobulin E and karithi produced against allergy, right? Then which immunoglobulins are present in colostrum of mother's milk? IgA, do not forget this. Which is the largest immunoglobulin? IgM ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಇಂಥವು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು objective part. Okay. Now here let's move to the next part. Next part is the primary lymphoid organs. Then the question comes, what are primary lymphoid organs? Primary lymphoid organs are those in which the lymphocytes are produced and maturation occurs. So the lymphocytes, primary lymphoid organs are those in which the lymphocytes are produced and matured. Lymphocyte production irbodu, maturation irbodu, other side na agtada, and it includes bone marrow and thymus gland. So these are most important. These are the two lymphoid organs. So it includes bone marrow as well as a thymus gland. They are the primary lymphoid organs. Yak primary lymphoid organs anta karitive? Production and maturation occurs at these sites. B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes are produced in the bone marrow, but B lymphocytes gets matured itself in the bone marrow, while T lymphocytes gets matured in the thymus gland. It is a gland present above the heart. Okay, heart melgade iruvanta gland adu, thymus gland. Okay, so it is the primary lymphoid organs. So bone marrow, thymus gland. Then once if they are produced, production aad nantara they will move towards the other areas where they are stored and they become antigen specific. Maturation aad nantara antigen specific aagtavu. Remember, immature lymphocytes cannot identify antigens. Only the matured lymphocytes can identify. That's why the matured lymphocytes are called as what? Antigen specific antibodies. ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಈ ಆಂಟಿಬಾಡೀಸ್ ಈಗ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗ್ಯದ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ದ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟು ಕಿಲ್ ದ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಆಂಟಿಜನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಂಟಿಬಾಡೀಸ್ ಐ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಆಂಟಿಜನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಂಟಿಬಾಡೀಸ್ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ lymphoid organs. Secondary lymphoid organs are those in which the lymphocytes are stored, but the lymphocytes do not produce and are not matured there. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಂಫೋಸೈಟ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥವು, ಮ್ಯಾಚೂರ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥವು ಬಂದು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ. ಇದು ಹೆಂಗಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಾರ್ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಜಾಗ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸೋಲ್ಜರ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೂಡಿ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಯಾಕಂತಂದರೆ ಎನಿಮೀಸ್ ಮೇ ಎಂಟರ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಎನಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆ ಯಾವುದು ಬೇಕಾದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ದಾಗ ಬಂದರೂ ಸದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಅಟ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅದು. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ರಿ ಲಿಂಫಾಯ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಲಿಂಫಾಯ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವೆ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ರಿ ಲಿಂಫಾಯ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೋಸ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಚೂರ್ಡ್ ಲಿಂಫೋಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಡ್. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? ಓನ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಆಕರ್ಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗುಂಪು ಗುಂಪಾಗಿ ಬಂದು ಕೂಡಿರ್ತಾವೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಲಿಂಫೋಸೈಟ್ಸ್ are stored. Lymphocytes are stored under ಯಾವ lymphocytes? The matured lymphocytes are stored at these sites. Then it includes what? ಹಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ಬರುವಂಥ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುವು? So here it includes tonsils. Then apart from the tonsils we have lymph nodes. Then Peyer's patches, of small intestine, then we have other organs here where it includes appendix, so it includes appendix along with spleen. Now here if we look at their names, tonsils, it is the first one, lymph nodes, second one, Peyer's patches of a small intestine, third one, appendix, it is fourth one, spleen, fifth one. So we have 5 examples. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 5 example ಇರುವಂಥವು. Now primary lymphoid organs are those in which the lymphocytes are produced and maturation occurs at these sites, while secondary lymphocytes are those where the produced or the matured lymphocytes can be stored, and it includes all these sites. That means all these sites are the sites in which the matured lymphocytes are stored, and the entry point of the pathogen might be through any side. ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿದಾಗೆ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಎಂಟ್ರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಮೈಟ್ ಬಿ ಓರಲಿ, ಇಟ್ ಮೈಟ್ ಬಿ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಕಟ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಜೆನೆಟಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗೆ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೇ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥ ಮ್ಯಾಚೂರ್ಡ್ ಲಿಂಫೋಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾವೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ಸ್ ಟಾನ್ಸಿಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟಾನ್ಸಿಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಥ್ರೋಟ್ ರೀಜನ್. ಆ ಟಾನ್ಸಿಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆದಾಗ ಟಾನ್ಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಬಾವು ಬರ್ತಾವೆ. ಬಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾವೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ದಿಂದ ಆ್ಯಂಟಿಬಾಡಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅದು ಬಾವು ಬರ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಸ್ವೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್, ವಾರ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಟಿಬಾಡೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಟಿಜನ್ಸ್. ದೆನ್ ಲಿಂಫ್ ನೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇರುವಂಥವು. ದೇ ಆರ್ ನೋಡೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್, ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಶೋಲ್ಡರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ನೋಡೆಡ್ ನೋಡ್ಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಲುಕ್ ಎಟ್ ದ NCERT diagram, there you can see the lymph nodes. Then Peyer's patches of small intestine ಒಳಗಡೆ in the submucosal region we have Peyer's patches, they store lymphocytes. Then appendix as we call it as vestigial organ, it also stores the lymphocytes which kills the microorganisms that are harmful to our body. Then spleen is a gland which is present beside the stomach ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂಥ region spleen, that also stores what? The lymphocytes. And mainly the secondary lymphocytes are those regions which are very specific to the antigens and where they can easily identify the pathogens that enters the body, and finally they kill them, protecting our body from getting diseases. Okay, so this is the part of it. Then when we come across the part of the spleen anta bandaga, spleen is a organ where the lymphocytes are stored, one thing. Then apart from this, spleen role mat bere ada. After production of the blood, RBCs are also stored in the spleen, and hence the spleen is also called as a blood bank of the body. Then after 120 days, the worn out RBCs are killed in the spleen, and hence the spleen is also called as a graveyard of RBCs. RBCಗಳ ಸ್ಮಶಾನ ತಾಣ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. Look at the work of the spleen. Spleen acts like the secondary lymphoid organ. Spleen is the blood bank of the body. Spleen is the graveyard of RBCs. ಮೂರು ಹೆಸರು ಅದಾವ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. Though the organ is one, it is having multiple functions. So it is a versatile organ, okay, which functions in different ways in our body. Remember these points, these are objective points only. This is regarding the part of the spleen. Now let us come to the part of the one more gland called as thymus gland. Thymus gland is a bilobed, ಎರಡು ಲೋಬ್ ಇರುವಂಥ gland which is present above the heart, behind the breast bone. Here we have the breast bone. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಂಟರ್ದಾಗ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು sternum ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as breast bone, which is very hard. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಸ್ಕೆಲ್ಟಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನೀವು ಕಲ್ತಿ ರಿಬ್ ಕೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಬೋನ್, ರಿಬ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟರ್ನಮ್ ಅಂತದ, ಲೋವರ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಡಯಾಫ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಂತದ. ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ what? Sternum. This sternum is also called as breast bone. Behind the breast bone, what we have? The thymus gland. At the time of birth, it is a very large. At the time of birth, size large agirtada. Then as we get matured, it goes on reducing in its size reduction ಆಗ್ತದ. Then at maturity it becomes very small. ಸಣ್ಣದಿರ್ತದೆ. ಆ್ಯಸ್ ದ ಏಜ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡ್ಸ್, ಏಜ್ ಆದಂಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಅ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಜನ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಏಜ್ಡ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಮ್ಯೂನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಥೈಮಸ್ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಡಿಜನರೇಟಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಅದು ಡಿಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಥೈಮೋಸಿನ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಟಿ ಲಿಂಫೋಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚೂರ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿದಾಗ ಆ್ಯಂಟಿಬಾಡೀಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆದರೂ ಮ್ಯಾಚುರೇಷನ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ದೆನ್ ಫೈನಲಿ it leads to lower immunity and by which there might be death of the person. Okay, so where the person gets diseased. So that is regarding the part. Okay, now this is the part of the thymus gland. Then apart from this, there are certain tracts called as a respiratory tract, digestive tract, then urinogenital tract. ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಗೆ GI ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ರೋ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನಲ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್. ದೀಸ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯೂಕಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಲಿಂಫಾಯ್ಡ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೌ ಹಿಯರ್ there is a lymphoid tissue which are present in association. So they are associated. The lymphoid tissues also located or associated with tracts, with different tracts, and they are said to be respiratory, digestive, and urinogenital tract. So these three tracts are there where they contain the mucous membrane, and they are called mucosal associated lymphoid tissues, which it is abbreviated as MALT, MALT, mucosal associated lymphoid tissues and karidar. Now what is its role? So it constitutes about 50%, it constitutes about 50% of the total lymphoid tissues. The lymphoid tissues in the body. This is important here, most important. Primary, secondary, alle we have one more thing called as MALT. MALT ಅಂದರೆ mucosal associated lymphoid tissue which are present in the three tracts. Our respiratory tract, mucous membrane ಇರ್ತೈತಿ, ಅಲ್ಲೂ lymphoid tissues ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. Then gastrointestinal tract, mucous membrane ಇರ್ತದೆ which is secreted by goblet cells, ಅಲ್ಲೂ lymphoid tissues ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. Urinogenital tract, because chance of getting entry of the pathogens through these routes is very fast. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ we respire, we eat, and through the genital organs chance of entering or infection will be more. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲೂ lymphoid tissues ಇರ್ತಾವೆ and they are referred as MALT. And remember, it constitutes about 50% of the lymphoid tissue in the body. ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ 50% immunity ಇವತ್ತರಿಂದನೇ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. Remember, so 50% of the total immunity is by MALT. ಇದು objective question. Remember, it's most important, very important. 50% of the total immunity or a lymphoid tissue constitutes the MALT, and MALT includes these three tracts: respiratory tract, digestive tract, urinogenital tract. Okay, so with these we are completing the first part, and we'll enter into the middle part of the chapter, and that middle part of the chapter, it includes two diseases. One is the AIDS and second one is the cancer. So these are the two big diseases which comes under the middle part of the chapter, and after completion of these two diseases we are moving on to the last part of the chapter, which is regarding the part of the drugs and alcohol abuse. So now we will move on to the middle part of the chapter. Okay, now in the middle part, as we come across the deadly disease AIDS, and you know the expansion of the AIDS also, which already you have studied in the reproductive health chapter. So next one is the disease AIDS. AIDS is a acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Okay, so we know it. Then what is the cause for AIDS? So ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವಂಥವ, which already you have studied. So what is the cause? The cause for AIDS is a virus called as a HIV virus, which is human immunodeficiency virus. This HIV virus is also called as a retrovirus. HIV virus is also called as a retrovirus because it helps in reverse transcription. Reverse transcription, that's why it has changed the central dogma of molecular biology. Molecular biology already ಕಲ್ತಿರಿ. Central dogma ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ DNA to DNA replication, DNA to mRNA transcription, mRNA to tRNA translation ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸಾರಿ, tRNA ಅಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್. mRNA ದಿಂದ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಿರ್ಗ DNA ತಯಾರಾಗುವಂಥದ್ದು, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್. ಈ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ HIV ವೈರಸ್. So that's why it has totally changed the scenario of what? The central dogma of molecular biology. That's why it is called as a retrovirus, which helps in reverse transcription with the help of an enzyme called as reverse transcriptase. Okay, and almost it was identified in India around 1981, and almost it has killed over more than 25 million people all over the world. So that's why it is a deadly disease. It is an infectious disease which can be transmitted from one person to other person. It is an infectious disease and it is the deadly disease because till now we don't have any medicine for the AIDS. Only the thing is we give the medicine like antiretroviral, injections are given, tablets are given, antibiotics are given only to prolong the death. But remember, death is inevitable. So to spread the awareness, what we do is we are celebrating World AIDS Day, which is coming near. Yavatta? December 1st. Okay, it is celebrated as a World AIDS Day. Celebration yadugoskara, kushigoskara alla, celebration allidu awareness goskara. Okay, so that the people should have this awareness, and unknowingly the disease should not be spread. And suppose if any person is suffering with this, he has to inform to anyone so that the disease has to be stopped, spreading of the disease has to be stopped. Okay, so this is regarding the part of the cause. Mainly it is HIV, and it was first reported in 1981. And it has killed more than 25 million people all over the world. Now this is according to 2004 record. ಈಗಂತ ನಾವು ಬಂದಾಗ ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಅದ, ಬಟ್ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುವುದರಿಂದ ದ ನಂಬರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್. ನಂಬರ್ ಭಾಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಈಗ. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಮೋರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಡೆಡ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸೀಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್. ದೆನ್ ಆಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಸ್ HIV is concerned, this is a cause. How it is a transmission. So already we know a few transmissions. It is mainly transmitted through sexual contact with an infected person. With an infected person, or sex with multiple partner. and if any one is affected, then only the disease is spread. If the person is not infected or affected, then the disease won't spread. Then through, it is also spread through the injections during intravenous transfusions also. So here, so sharing of infected needles. So through infected needles during intravenous injections. This is in the drug addicts, because the drug addicts person will be taking the drugs with the help of the injection. Other same injection with the same needle, if other person injects, it can be spread. And remember, the AIDS is spread only through the fluids. Fluids mukantara matra spread agtada. Either it is through the blood or through the fluids, okay, of the semen also. Then apart from these, during blood transfusion, that means here we refer it as a transfusion of the infected blood. Whenever a person needs blood in case of emergency, if a donor is there, if we don't check whether the person is infected with the HIV, then through the blood transfusion, the normal person also gets affected with the HIV virus. Okay, adike blood dinda contamination agadi. Then it can be also spread through the blades also, which is used in the barber shop. And if one person is affected, if there is any cut in the skin and if there is a blood stain to that blade, through that it may be transferred to the other person. And remember, HIV virus is spread mainly through this, right? So sex with an infected person, then sex with multiple partners, then through the blood transfusion, then through the needles of syringes during intravenous injections. This is transmission. How HIV is not transmitted? Yadrinda transmit agangilla. HIV virus is transmitted only through the fluids. As a result, HIV is not transmitted through the mosquitoes. Mosquito bite then the HIV transmit agangilla, because the HIV virus won't survive in the gut of the mosquito. This is one thing. If you touch an HIV person, you won't get HIV. If you look at the HIV person, ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಿಮಗೆ HIV ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಭಾಳ ಜನ ಯಾರೋ HIV ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಅದಾರತನ ಅಂತಲೇ ಅವ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದಾರ ಅಂತನ ಅಂತಲೇ ಹಿಂಗೆ ದೂರ ಹಾಸಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಡೂ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ HIV ಕ್ಯಾನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವೇ. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ದಿಂದ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಥ್ರೂ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕೇರ್ those persons, the HIV is not transmitted, right? So this is regarding the mode of transmission. Then the main thing in the HIV is the HIV virus. It mainly infects the macrophage cells as well as the T helper cells, and later on it multiplies in our body, and it makes our body cells as a HIV factory, and later on it damages many of the cells. Its main thing is it targets those tissues which are most intelligent. And look at the intelligence of HIV virus. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪರ್ ಟಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗೆಸ್ಟ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಅದು ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಕಿಲ್ಲರ್ ಟಿ ಸೆಲ್ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ HIV ವೈರಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ನ ಬಿಡ್ದದ, ಈ ಹೆಲ್ಪರ್ ಟಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ನ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ದದ. ಅದನ್ನು ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮಂತ್ರಿನ ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತ, ಅವನ ಕಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಉಳಿದ ಸೋಲ್ಜರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ರೈಟ್? ನೌ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ HIV? ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಆಫ್ HIV virus, and that life cycle with the representation is asked in a descriptive part for a 5 mark level question. 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ದಾಗ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ that we'll see. Now suppose if you look at the symptoms includes bouts of fever, diarrhea, weight loss. Okay, you major symptom. ಸೊ ಬೋಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಯೂವರ್, ಜ್ವರ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬರ್ದು ಬೋಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಯೂವರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಡಯೋರಿಯಾ, ಲೂಸ್ ಮೋಷನ್, ವೇಟ್ ಲಾಸ್, huge weight loss will be there. Because of that, here as the immune system gets depleted and destroyed, ultimately the person will become very weak. ಭಾಳ ಥಿನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, they become very weak. ವೀಕ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ the body will lose all the resistance which it was having earlier. Even a small pathogen which has already invaded our body and which we were having that immunity priorly, ಮೊದಲು ಇರುವಂಥ ಇಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ಟಾಕ್ಸೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ನಾವು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೋ ಬೇರೆ ವೈರಸ್ಗಳು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಹೆಂಗಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯನ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಟು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ದೀಸ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬ್ಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್, ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ an environment which is favorable for multiplication of the microbes. So that's why our immune system gets totally collapsed by this. So priorly where we were having an immunity, that immunity will be lost completely, complete loss ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Okay, then comes prevention. So prevention is better than treatment ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು, that slogan holds good for this. So prevention, how to prevent this? Avoid sex with multiple partner. Okay, advocating safe sexual practice and kariತೀವಿ. Then use of condoms. Then the transmission, mode of transmission, preventive measures ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Blood transfusion, infected blood transfusion has to be avoided. Then use of disposable syringes, use and throw syringes ಈಗ ಬಂದಾವು, disposable syringes. So use of disposable syringes. Okay, then apart from this disposable syringes ಅಲ್ಲದೆ then majorly you preventive measures, and based on this lot of organizations ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಏಡ್ಸ್ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಮಾಡಕತ್ತಾರ. ಲೈಕ್ ದ NGOs, non-government organizations, then NACO, this is National AIDS Control Organization, this is National AIDS Control Organization. They have given a slogan called as a don't die due to negligence. ಅವ್ರ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಲೋಗನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ, ಡೋಂಟ್ ಡೈ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ನೆಗ್ಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್. ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದು ಸಾಯ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದಂಗೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ವಿ ನೋ ದ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡೆಡ್ಲಿ, ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟಿಲ್ ನಾವು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ತನಕ ಏನೂ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ವಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಆ್ಯಂಟಿ ರಿಟ್ರೋವೈರಲ್ ಡ್ರಗ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ವೈರಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸ್ಲೋ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಡ್ರಗ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಡ್ರಗ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೂ ಬರೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಅಷ್ಟು ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಡ್ರಗ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ those drugs, instead of killing the virus, it may kill our own body cells. And as the incubation period is for a few months to several years, 5 ರಿಂದ 10 ವರ್ಷ HIV ವೈರಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಬದುಕುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಕೆಲವೇ ತಿಂಗಳದಾಗ ಡೆತ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಅದು ಇಮ್ಯೂನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಕೆಲವು ವರ್ಷ ಬದುಕ್ಬೋದು, 5 ರಿಂದ 10 ವರ್ಷ, 5 to 10 years. This is a maximum if the person is having what more immunity and with the this antiretroviral drugs, ಆ ಡ್ರಗ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ತೊಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೋದಾಗ we just prolong the death time. ಓಕೆ, ಸಾವನ್ನು ಮುಂದೂಡಾಕತ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಸಾವು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಿಶ್ಚಿತ. ಡೆತ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ಎವಿಟೇಬಲ್ ಇನ್ HIV condition, in AIDS persons. Okay, so that's why the incubation period will vary. Okay, it may be for a few months to few years, 5 ರಿಂದ 10 ವರ್ಷ. Okay. that's the incubation period. NACO, what they have given? They have given a slogan called as a don't die due to ignorance. Don't die due to ignorance. Then even WHO is also working for it, World Health Organization, where it is playing a major role in COVID situation also. Okay, so in this pandemic situation, as we are just identifying the medicines to get treated with this, so vaccines. So few vaccines are available, but there is a mutation in the COVID virus. As a result, still the research is going on. Similarly, World Health Organization is also behind the research work of these drugs, right? So that's why this has to be taken care. So almost all these are regarding the spreading of. So mainly it is for the awareness, and we should have that awareness. So because of this, every year on December 1st, so we are calling that day as a World AIDS Day. So World AIDS Day is on December 1st. Okay, now I am giving you an assignment. One assignment ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. For World AIDS Day, it is December 1, we are using a ribbon. ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ನಾವು ribbon ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. What is the color of the ribbon? So for the AIDS Day, which ribbon is used? Similarly, ಇದರ ಜೊತೆ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂತಂದರೆ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಡೇ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಾವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಆಫ್ HIV. ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ HIV ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅದ, ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ. ದೆನ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಡೇ ಯಾವತ್ತದ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿಂಬಾಲ್. ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಏಡ್ಸ್ ಡೇ December 1, AIDS symbol. So just post AIDS symbol, ಯಾವ ರಿಬ್ಬನ್ನು. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿಂಬಾಲ್, ಯಾವ ರಿಬ್ಬನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಡೇ. just post it in the group and we'll look over the life cycle of HIV. HIV ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗ್ತದ ಅಂತನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ನೋಡೋಣ, and that is a separate question. So this is the separate question which will be asked, that is a separate question. Okay, so that part will continue. That means the disease AIDS to be continued in the next session. Thank you.